Mananam is to be done. We have seen Mananam also in when we study Vedanta. Shravanam, Mananam, and Nidhi Dhyasanam. These are the three things that need to be done. So first we have to hear, and then whatever we have to heard, we should be churning it in our mind to remove all the doubts. Doubts. With Bhakti Shastra, the Mananam, one thing to remove the doubts is, of course, to uh, it says Tad Udbodh Karmani. The best way to remove a doubt is to just follow what is said and see that result, what they say that this is the result will come, that result, whether it will come or not. The other way is to read the lives of saints. So whatever is given in theory, you will see that practically happening in the life of a saint. So that is why it becomes important to read the lives of these saints, Mirabai, Andal, whoever, Sant Tukaram, Namdev. There are many, many, many saints that we have all throughout India. And if we read their experiences, we come to know what the text said, what the text, theory, what it said. I've already told you the story of Dundukari, in Bhagavad Puran. He was a ghost and he hid in the hollow of the bamboo tree, and then he heard the Bhagavad Puran, which was told by his brother Gokarna. And then overnight he had nothing to do, so all he did was reflect on what was said. And at the end of the seventh day, when Bhagavad Puran was over, Bhagwan Vishnu himself came and took him in the plane. Now the other people said, how come we also listened and he only went and we couldn't? So then Gokarn said to them, Rishi Gokarn, that he whole night he was alone in that bamboo thing. So he did mananam, whereas you guys went back into your households and your mind went into there. You didn't do the thinking that is required. And so they asked him to do it again, once again, and once again the Bhagavad Puran was done. And then they also, it is said that even Bhagwan Vishnu came even for them at the end of the 7 days. Mananam is very important, and that is why Gurudev has set up this thing of, we study the text and then we tell what is our understanding. So that is the instruction there. And then he goes on to say, Sukha, Dukha, Ichha, Labha, Adi, Tyakte, Kale, Pratikshamaane, Shanardhamapi, Vyartham, Na Neyam. Waiting for a propitious time when pleasure, pain, desire, profit, etc. are not troubling you, even half a second should not be wasted. Okay, so we have seen this. This is like Gurudev's example, where the man went to the beach and said he's waiting for the waves to subside, then he will learn how to swim, which is never going to happen. These waves, urmis, as Bhagwan Shankaracharya would call them in Vivek Chudamani, urmis. Today there'll be happiness, tomorrow there'll be sorrow, third day there'll be some pain in the body, fourth day there'll be something. If we keep waiting for these are never going to end. That means we'll be waiting till the end of our life. There are people who wait for retirement. They say, oh, this is meant for, after I retire, after I get old. What is the point in studying the science of living after life is over, almost over? What is the point? You need it now when you're actually going through life. You need all these instructions. So Bhagavad Gita especially, you need it while you're living life. That is what Arjun, when Arjun was asked, he had gone to the heavens to learn weaponry. Indra, the king of the heavens, his father asked him to learn song and dance. And he said, I will come after the war and learn this. What is this? I've come here to learn archery and, warfare. You're trying to tell me you're asking me to learn song and dance. And Bhagwan Indra says to him that, what is the point in learning an art after the war is over? You need it, right? So he learned, and then he realizes how he used it before the war by remaining incognito for 1 year. Sadhana has got two aspects. One is puja, listening, reading, all that. But the other aspect is to bring it into your own life. So it's like, we hear values like honesty, truthfulness, compassion, etc., etc. But They are words. They are only words. You know, there's no meaning to them. Unless we start practicing them, then it becomes a virtue. So values have to be converted into virtues by practicing them. And that's why he says that don't waste time. Start practicing now. Start practicing now. Okay? Because how do you know you're going to retire? See, I've told you the story of Yudhishthir. A person came to Yudhishthir and said, I need your help. So Yudhishthir said, come day after tomorrow. Then Bhim said to him, so the person started going away. Then Bhim came. He said, brother, have you conquered death? He said, no, what do you mean? He says, how do you know you will not be dead by day after tomorrow? Nobody knows. Nobody knows the time of death. Death is certain, but time is not known. So if you think I'll retire and then do it, you may not retire only. You may not be there to retire, right? So you start now. Don't wait for the propitious time will never come. You know, every day there'll be something or the other. Every day there'll be something or the other, especially as we get older, you know, that today something is hurting, tomorrow something, viral infection, bacterial infection, this, that, but whatever we can do, we must start right now without waiting. And then what is to be practiced? Sutra 78, ahimsa, satya, shaucha, daya, astikya, adi, charitrayani, paripalaniyani, virtues like non-injury to others, truthfulness, cleanliness, compassion, faith in the Lord, etc., should be consistently cultivated. This is the practice, the sadhana. The value is there. There is the value to honesty, truthfulness, love, compassion, and that needs to be converted into a virtue, and it will only be converted into a virtue when we start practicing. And this is what, so ahimsa, non-injury, we have seen all these words many times. Ahimsa, non-injury at the physical level, non-injury at the speech level. Harsh speech should be avoided. That's why Upanishad says jivame madhumattama. Taittiriya Upanishad, jivame madhumattama, they are asking for that sweetness in the tongue. So let's not speak harsh words. Let's not speak bitter. Let's not hurt anybody by speech. And even thought, we must never think ill of anybody else. If the person, you know, if we don't like the person, hate is a very strong word. Let's remain neutral to that person. Let's not wish bad upon somebody that we don't like, ever. We would never wish bad upon people that we like, but people that we don't, maybe there are people that we don't like. We must understand through knowledge. See, we are studying Bhagavad Gita also. So Bhagavad Gita says it is a play of the gunas. So everybody's behavior is as per the play of their gunas. Understanding that, we must not wish them ill, ever. That becomes ahimsa. Satya, truthfulness, is when what you think, what you speak, and what you do is in alignment. So that becomes satya. Like you have to be true to yourself more than anything else. Okay? And then shaucha is cleanliness. Of course, there is a physical cleanliness and external cleanliness, but the internal cleanliness of the mind. So purity of motive is very important. So both internal and external purities has to be there. It falls under shaucha, cleanliness. Astikya is faith in God, faith in the scriptures, faith in the guru who is telling us about the scriptures. Because every time if you start saying, oh, is that correct? Is that how it is? Is that how it is? If you don't have that faith, then that is not correct. So astikya is have faith in whatever Narad Bhagwan has said in this book. If we concentrate just on this book alone, everything else apart, this one, then so far what he has said, because he has given us what is bhakti, how it is to be developed. So if we practice those, then see if that sort of bhakti is developed within us. So that is what astikya is, you know. And then adi, so etc. So there are all these other virtues also that we need to practice. That's why Bhagwan, if you read chapter 12, he has given Adveshta Sarva Bhutana Maitra Karuna Evacha. Bhagwan says, who is my greatest devotee? One who hates nobody. Hates nobody. Adveshta Sarva Bhutana. Bhuta, all beings. So no animals, no Nothing hates nothing. That is what it is. Paripaliniyani. So follow it. There's no point just saying, yeah, compassion is there. Daya, compassion. Compassion is, when you have compassion, compassion should translate into work. Otherwise, there's no point. Oh, I am so sorry for it. So if you can do something, you do. Maybe there are times when you can't do something for the person, then you can pray. The minimum you can do is pray for the person. Suppose if somebody is sick, not well, whatever it is, prayers are always there for us, right? We may not be able to help physically, financially, time-wise, but praying we can do, right? Free. Praying is free. We pray, and then in the mind, we can always think of that person. So that way, please understand the power of prayer. When you pray, it is like an echo. Prayers are like echo. You go to a valley, and if you say, I love you, then what will come back to you is, I love you. But if you say, I hate you, then that is what is going to come back to you. So when you pray for the entire universe, they will echo back to you. All those prayers will come back to you. So remember that is the power of prayer. Prayer is very, very powerful. So praying is very important, and we can always do that. Next, sarvada sarva bhavena nishchit chanchaititaiha bhagavan eva bhajaniya. What is the word here? Nischintaihi. Nischinta is without worry. Nischinta. Chinta is worry. Nischinta is without worry. So always free from all mental anxiety. The Lord alone is to be invoked and sought after with all factors of our personality. Sarvada, in all circumstances, in all situations, at all times. See, I have this friend, I have friends who told me they travel on the plane, and she said to me, my God, when the turbulence started, immediately I started chanting Hanuman Chalisa. And I said, but in my mind, I would never say anything. I said, why are you not chanting it every day? See, if I chant Hanuman Chalisa every day, then when there is turbulence, I don't have to chant. Because I will have the faith that whatever chanting I've done for the past so many days, it's now going to help me, give me the strength to bear this. So, when it starts raining, you go look for an umbrella. Too late. So that's why Sarvada, in all situations, whether it is good situation or bad situation, I've told you this many, many times. When good things come to us, we say, thank you, Lord, for that. And when bad things come, okay, Lord, you have given me this bad situation. Now you alone can give me the strength for this. That is what Sarvada is. Sarva Bhavena, with all body, mind, speech, everything. Sarva Bhava is body, mind, intellect. With all my instruments that I have at my disposal. I have body, I have mind, I have speech. All these three instruments are there. So I should, with all Bhagavan eva bhajaniya, without any worry, nishchintya. That's why Bhagavan has promised in Bhagavad Gita, he says, yoga and kshema I will take care of. Now what do I have to worry? If Bhagavan has promised me that, what I don't have, he will give me. What I have, he will protect. That is his promise. Now, if I don't have faith in that promise of Bhagavan, will I ever have faith in any human being? I can't. If I can't trust what Bhagavan is saying himself, how will I trust anybody else in the world? So that's why he says, Nishchint, be worry-free. All you do is think about the Lord, and he will come and take care of you. This is Bhakti, through Bhakti. But Bhagavad Gita also Bhagavan has promised. Arjun, Yoga Kshema, I will take care of it. You just fight the war. So for us, you just go live your life properly, in a good manner, and everything else I will take care of. Then why I should worry? There's no need to worry. Okay? So if you're a karma yogi, then you should not be worrying about results. What will happen? You do your karma. You do your duty as ordained by the scriptures and then leave the rest to him. Next, 80. Saha kirtyamanaha shighram eva vibhar शीघ्रम एव आविर्भवति anubhavayati cha bhaktan. When invoked, he indeed reveals himself and makes the devotee realize his absolute nature divine. So the devotee, when he only invokes God, I told you, just chanting Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan is taking Nam Avatar on our tongue. Just chanting, without even thinking what is the meaning, nothing. That is the way it is, okay? So in chapter 10, verse 10, Bhagwan says, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam, with love, those who worship me, dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamu payanti te. So dadami buddhi yogam, dadami, I give them, those who love me and worship me with love, I give them buddhi yoga. What is buddhi yoga? This is what he's saying. He will reveal himself. What does it mean? He will reveal himself. Means he will give you that intellect which will make you understand your oneness with him. He will do it. He will do it. That is the important thing here. We don't have to do anything. What is on our side is just love him. Love him unconditionally. Think about him at every moment. He will come. Buddhi yogam tam dadami. Is Bhagavad Gita chapter 10. He's promised. 12 also he says the same thing. Those who are devoted to me, tesham aham samuddharta. Tesham aham. I lift them from the ocean of samsara. And what is lifting from there's no physically that we are drowning somewhere that he'll lift us. Physically lifting from the ocean of samsara means giving us that realization that you and I are one. And once I realize that, there is no more samsara for me. There is no more world for me. Okay, it is there physically, but I'm not affected by it. So this is his promise. Therefore, he says, Sir Kirtyamana. So when you do this, when you love him, Shigrameva, Shigra, very soon. Very soon. He promised Bhagavad Gita also, he has promised. Okay? Anubhavayati. He will make you experience the oneness. He will make. That is the important part here. In Bhakti, he will make you do it. He will do it for you. I've given you the example of Bhakti is like the kitten of the cat. The mother cat carries and protects the kitten. Jnana is like monkey. We have to, if you're going through Jnana Marga, if you think you're an intellectual and you're going, that's why Narada Bhagwan says Bhakti is easy. Nah? Just we have love, at least we love ourselves. So you love Bhagwan instead of that. And it's very easy. That is why he's saying that. Then Bhagwan will take care of everything. Bhagwan is, that's why we need to read the lives of saints. That's where we come to know how he comes and helps us and takes. And he helps us also. It only requires a certain amount of purity, to realize that, oh my Lord, thank God, this happened because of God. But that realization has to happen. And that will happen when the mind is rid of ego. When the ego is thinned and thinned and thinned, then it will happen. Okay? Trisatyasya bhaktireva gariyasi. Of the three truths, time or paths, devotion alone is the greatest. Indeed, devotion alone is the greatest. Now, the three truths, and Gurudev also has written time or paths. So if you take it as time, then it's past, present, and future. So in the past also, in the present, there are 3 periods of time. Then you can also take 3 paths as Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga. This is where he says. He says, before also he has said, Bhakti is superior to Karma and Jnana. Already he has said, Narada Bhagwan has said that. So here also he says, out of the 3 Satya. Satya here to mean not truths, 3 truths, but 3 paths. So 3 paths or 3 periods of time, or then you can also take it as heaven, earth, and hell. These are the 3 worlds. So in the 3 worlds, Bhakti is the greatest. In the 3 periods of time, Bhakti is the greatest. And in the three paths, Bhakti Marga is the best, is the great, because it's very easy. He says it's very easy. However, Bhakti, the reason that Bhakti is difficult for some people is because the surrender doesn't come. The ego is so strong that it's very difficult to surrender that ego. That's what happens. But this devotion alone is the greatest. And he repeats, indeed, devotion alone is the greatest. Okay? This is a Bhakti Shastra, remember that. Of course, if you read some Jnana thing, then Bhagavan Shankaracharya says Jnana is the best direct method. Brahman Maharshi will say the same thing. Jnana is the direct method. It is. It is. Hey, if you're capable of doing that much mananam and getting the direct, then do whichever, okay? So whatever suits us, whatever is our inclination, best is, follow all three. At the body level, karma yoga you do. That's why Bhaja Govindam will see Bhaja Govind, Bhaja Govind. 3 times, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. Why? Body level, keep doing karma yoga. Mind level, have the faith, have love. And at the intellectual level, keep studying. Study Bhagavad Gita, study Upanishads. All three we do. All three we do. Okay? Whichever will take us, will take us. Then now he says, he's giving all the 11 paths, 11 methods or 11 types of bhakti. Guna Mahatmya Asakti, Rupa Asakti, Puja Asakti, Smarana Asakti, Dasya Asakti, Sakhya Asakti, Vatsalya Asakti, Kanta Asakti, Atma Nivedana Asakti, Tanmayata Asakti, Parama Viraha Asakti Rupa Ekadhapeka Dashadha Bhavati. Ekadha api ekadashadha bhavati. That is what it is. So ekadha api, even though all these, we'll read that. Love for glorifying his qualities, love for his divine form, love for worshipping him, love for remembering him, love for doing service for him, love for friendship in him, love for the Lord as one's own child, love as that to a beloved, love for a total self-offering at his feet, love for complete absorption in him, love is expressed in the pang of separation from him. Thus, though love is only one, it is expressed in 11 different modes. See, Prahlad gave Navavidha Bhakti. He gave 9 paths. Narad Bhagwan is giving 11 paths. Take whichever one suits you. So, Gunam, Asakti word is common. Asakti is love. Okay, Asakti here is, Asakti means attachment also, but here it is not because it is to the higher, this Asakti is in the form of love. It is not attachment. It is not, that's why Asakti directly translated is attachment, but here it is to be taken in the form of love, bhakti. And this bhakti can be 11-fold. So Guna Mahatmya Bhakti. So listening to the gunas of the Lord, his virtues, listening to that. And we have seen these methods previously also, where Narad Bhagwan gave Garg Rishi what he says. What is the means of bhakti? Puja. Some people like to do puja. Some people like to talk about the stories of Bhagwan. Some people like to sing his glories, kirtan, bhajan, whatever. Okay. And now this is what it is. Rupa Asakti. So some people would like the form of Bhagwan. How beautiful it is. And they'll meditate on the form also. That also is a form of meditation where you keep the idol in front and then you say, then you start from the toes, how beautiful, then go up, like that, that is also the Rupa Asakti. Puja Asakti at the level of the body, puja. So some people like to do puja, elaborate pujas, Shodashopachara, 16-step puja. So you can like that. Smarana Asakti, mind level. Memory, you keep, this is also easy for us because mind goes with us. See, puja, if you're doing 16-step every day, you have to have the time to do that much puja, right? But Smarana Shakti, Asakti, anywhere you are, you can, that's what I told you, everything you bring God in. That should be easy for us, memory. So we can follow, at least we may not be able to follow all, but even one, if we follow correctly, it will take us to the Lord. Dasya Asakti, servant. Hanumanji was that. He said he is the servant of the Lord. But he knew that at the level of the body, I am the servant. At the level of the mind, I am your devotee at the highest level, I'm one with you, right? So Sakhya Asakti, friendship. Arjun was a friend to Bhagwan. Vatsalya Asakti, Yashoda Maya. She was motherly love she had for this thing. Kanta Asakti, Mirabai. She was told that this was her husband, and she, till the dying day, she considered him as the husband. Atma Nivedan, this is the hardest. Surrender at his feet. Surrender is having complete faith. Whatever. That's why Prahlad is a very good, this Atma Nivedan example. Prahlad, father said jump into the fire, he said jump. Father said do whatever. Even Mirabai Atmane was there because she was sent poison. She said, okay, fine, she didn't even, I don't think she even thought what it was. She said, okay, drink. She drank the poison. And Bhagwan came and took it all. And even this Prahlad, every time Bhagwan came, right? And last moment he asked, well, you think your Bhagwan is in this pole? He said, yes. Bhagwan was waiting, but doesn't know what he's going to say. Bhagwan said, oh, pole, okay. So immediately Narsimha Bhagwan entered the pole and came out of there. Bhagwan is waiting for his devotees. So when that father asked him, what are you telling? Vishnu Bhagwan is everywhere. You think he's in the pole? He said, yes, he's in the pole. Now, devotee said it means Bhagwan will make. See, this is what Bhagwan does. When the devotee speaks, he comes and makes it true. They said he was waiting. Narsimha Bhagwan was waiting because he didn't know from where he will ask me to come. Immediately he said, pole, okay, fine. Let me enter the pole. Tanmayata. Tanmayata. Tanmayata means that complete oneness. So the whole, your whole, I've given you the story of Sant Tukaram, right? He was asked to guard the field and he started meditating on Bhagavad. That is Tanmayata. Means he only thought of Vitthal Bhagwan, only thought, and all the cows came and ate the fields. But then Bhagwan came and gave him even more crop than what. So Bhagwan will take care. Because if you're thinking of him, then he's thinking of you too. So he will always protect you. Param Viraha. So this is the method that Narad Bhagwan said. According to him, the greatest bhakti is when you become very sad, when you forget him even for a second. That is what it is. Param Viraha. So when we are never separated from the Lord. But the separation comes when we forget the Lord. And we forget the Lord when our ego comes in and says, oh, I'm the one that did it. That is what is meant by forgetting the Lord. Because the Lord never goes away from us, but we only turn away from him. Our ego makes us do that. That's why then Atma Nivedanam becomes very important. Surrender of the ego. Iti evam vadanti jana jalpa nirmayaha eka mataha Kumara, Vyasa, Shuka, Shandilya, Garga, Vishnu, Kaundinya, Shesha, Uddhava, Varuni, Bali, Hanuman, Vibhishana, Adayo, Bhakti Acharyaha. So, iti eva vadanti plural. This is what is said. So, this is what is this? This iti word includes the whole up to 82 sutras. From 1 to 82 sutras, iti evam. That is the load of the word iti. Iti evam. This is how this is said. Thus declare they. Thus is what? Thus is 1 to 82. Who are fearless of other people and their prattlings, their unanimous opinion, they who are masters of the path of devotion, such as Sanat Kumara, Vyasa, Shuka, Shandilya, Garga, Vishnu, Kaundinya, Shesha, Uddhava, Aruni, Bali, Hanuman, Vibhishana. So this one also indicates that Narad Bhagwan is telling us that this is not just my opinion that I have told you. All these Bhakti Acharyas, they are also saying the same thing. And already in the first sutra, he said, Vyakhyasyamaha. Now we expound this treatise on Bhakti. That is what he's saying, right? So he said already that. So so these are all the we part, okay? Sanat Kumaras, we know they are the Manas Putras of Brahmaji. They were just born as rishis. They were all very, detached. Vyasa, we know Vyasa is Bhagwan Ved Vyasa, who wrote the Mahabharata, the Puranas, etc. Shukadev is the one who told Bhagavad Puran to Parikshit Raja. Shukadev is the son of Bhagwan Vyasa. We have heard his story also. He was unwilling to come out of his mother's womb. He stayed there for 18 months. And finally, he said, why are you not coming out? So she says, no, because Maya will grasp me. Bhagwan Vyasa blessed him that no, Maya will not get a hold of you when you're born. So when he was born, there was no Maya. He just started walking away. Just at 18 months, he could walk. He just walked away from the world. Okay. So that is Shukadev. Shandilya is one of the rishis, which already we have heard before. Garga Rishi is the one who named Krishna and Balram, Garga Rishi. Vishnu here is not Bhagwan Vishnu, it is a rishi, some rishi, Vishnu. Kaundinya also. Kaundinya, all these are, those of you who are familiar with Gotra. There is Kaundinya Gotra. They are the rishis from where they sing. Shesha is Shesha Naga, who is Lakshman and who is Balram, right? In the avatars. Sheshanaga, on which Bhagwan Vishnu rests, he came as Lakshman and he came as Balram in the two avatars. Uddhava, we know. Uddhava, it seems he used to only wear clothes that were discarded by Bhagwan Krishna. He wore only old clothes of Bhagwan. He only ate what Bhagwan left on the plate. He was a great devotee, and when Bhagwan was about to make his departure from this world, he asked Bhagwan for the knowledge, and therefore we have Uddhav Gita. In the Bhagavad Puran, there is also one Uddhav Gita. That is what was told by Bhagwan Shri Krishna to Uddhav ji. Aruni is also one of the sages. Bali is the one, the grandson of Prahlad, whom Bhagwan pushed into hell because he had, conquered the heavens, and the Devatas came begging to Bhagwan Vishnu saying, please give us our land back, he has taken it. But even though he was pushed into hell, it is said that Bhagwan himself was guarding the doors to his abode there in hell. Okay. So he was a great devotee of the Lord. Hanumanji, though we don't have to say anything. And Vibhishan also. Vibhishan was the one, see, we saw this in all circumstances. Vibhishan was in Lanka, right? Ravan's Lanka, where you were not even allowed to take a name of anybody else, right? And yet he continued his bhakti to Sri Ram. And that is how Hanumanji found him. When he was looking for Sita ji going around, then he heard in the early morning, he heard this Shri Ram. He said, who is there? This one house only I'm hearing, no other house he heard anything like that. So he said, no, this has got to be a devotee of Sri Ram. And that's how he met Vibhishan, who was the middle brother. He was the middle brother. Ravan was the oldest, Vibhishan, and then Kumbhakarna. These are three brothers. They were also cursed and they had taken birth. So that is what it is. So this is Iti Evam Vadanti. This treatise that I have told you from Sutra 1 to Sutra 82, all these other Bhakti Acharyas are also saying the same thing. Okay, so telling us that it is not just I alone am saying. See, we see this even in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavan always says, they say, the wise people say, like that he says. He doesn't say, I am saying, or if he has to say, he says, it is my opinion that it is this way. It is my opinion. But everywhere else he says, no, they say, the wise men say, like that he says. So even he's not taking full credit. Now, ya idam narada proktam shiva Anushasanam Vishwasiti Shraddhate Saha Bhaktiman Bhavati Saha Preshtam Labhate Iti. He who believes and has faith in this exposition given out by Narada as taught, commanded by Lord Shiva, he gains the love of God and attains his objective, attains his beloved goal. So here again, Narad Bhagwan is saying that this was commanded by Lord Shiva. Right? So again, it's not like I wanted to write this Bhakti Shastra, so everybody will be, not like that. Not like that. There's no ego there. He says, no, this was commanded, told to me by Lord Shiva. So it's all come from Lord Shiva. Narada Proktam, so said by Narad Bhagwan, but commanded by Lord Shiva. So ultimately it came from Lord Shiva. Vishwasiti has faith, belief, and then Shraddha. Shraddha is greater than belief, is stronger than belief. We believe something, and then when we belief can break. There is a difference between belief and faith. Faith cannot be cracked. Faith should not be cracked. If it is cracked, then it was not faith in the first place. It was only a belief. I believed that God would do this, and then now God didn't do this, so there is no God. There is belief. Faith is in spite of. Okay. Sa Bhaktiman. Man is that one, Bhagavan, we have said, the possessor. This man and man is same. Sometimes it is ma and sometimes it is ba. So Bhakti, who is endowed with Bhakti, who is endowed with the love of the Lord, Saha Preshtham Labhate iti. So we have seen even in other texts, when it is repeated, it indicates end of the text. Now, preshtam labhate. Preshtam is there, and one word is shreshtam. Okay, there is one word shreshtam and one is preshtam. Now, shreshtam is what shreshtam can be different for different people. Ishtam, sorry, not shreshtam. Ishtam. Okay, we have this term Ishta Devata, right? So there are many forms of gods, and then one of them appeals to us, so that becomes my Ishta Devata. Now, Ishta Devata can be different for all of us. And I've also told you, even in one form, like Shri Krishna, some people only their Ishta Devata is the Bala Krishna, the small one. Some is the cowherd boy. Some is the one who is telling, Bhagavad Gita. That way it is. So there are many forms. But there is Ishta Devata, but Preshta is what, to understand that all these forms are only one. It is only one essence, Satchitananda in all of them. That is Preshta. So Preshta is something which is common to all, and Ishta is something which is different for all of us. So in the material world, Ishta may be what I desire in the material. So maybe I desire a job. He desires a promotion. She desires money, or he desires marriage or child or something. So this Ishta, the desire, can be different for different people. But then in that material world, no matter what everybody is looking for object wise, ultimately they want happiness. Nobody is looking for any object to get sorrow. So preshtam becomes that happiness, which is everybody wants that. But they have different ways of getting happiness. Some people get happiness in house, some in spouse, some in child, some in job, some in promotion, some in power and prestige, some in money. So that is Ishta. So here what he's saying is preshtam labhate. So what is preshtam? Happiness is desired by all of us. So in happiness, do we want that happiness which is going to go away, or do we want the permanent happiness? So here, Preshtham means that supreme bliss, supreme happiness, that only that realization of oneness can give us. So this is what he promises here. He says, this Bhakti Shastra, this treatise on Bhakti, if all the rules and whatever I have told are followed, are done, sadhana is done, maranam is done on this, if you have faith in what Narad Bhagwan has said, if you believe what he says, if you have that intense faith, to increase faith, definitely you must read the lives of saints. That is what will increase faith. Bhagavad Gita, I've told you many times, Yoga Kshema is my favorite. Anytime anything happens, I actually challenge Lord Krishna. So you promised, right? Now you're going to look after my yoga and you're going to look after my Kshema. And he's never failed me. He's never failed me when I've challenged him. So whatever he has done is done. But you must have that strong faith. So if you have that faith, Narad Bhagwan says you will get preshta. which is the highest, the supreme bliss here, Preshtam. Okay? So, sa Preshtam labate iti, iti full stop, twice repeated to indicate end of the treatise. I have a verse here. Oh, faith is a quality in the heart which gives clarity in knowledge. Faith is a quality of the heart which gives clarity in the intellect. Chapter 4, verse 11, Bhagavad Gita. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tans tathaiva bhajamyaham mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashaha. In whatever way men approach me, even so do I reward them. My path do men tread in all ways, O Partha. So whatever ways they approach me means, if somebody is approaching for money, somebody is approaching for job, somebody is approaching for wife, somebody is approaching for husband, for child, I give it to them. Whatever they ask for, I give it to them. Okay? So Mama Vartmanu, my path, everybody is following my path. Why? Because I am only the source of happiness. They don't know that. They think that money will give me happiness. They think that house will give me, spouse will give me happiness, child will give. They think like that, and they are asking for those different, they are asking for Ishta. What they want is Preshta. I give them their Ishta. I give them whatever. If they ask for, they think that is going to give them happiness, fine, take it. See if it gives you permanent happiness. That is what we have to understand. Yes, I will get this. Will this give me permanent happiness? No, because no matter what I get, after some time, I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. Then I'm not. So Preshta becomes that supreme happiness. Okay, so we have completed this by Gurudev's grace and blessings. I'm just going to read the first sutra again, just to indicate that we will continue to read this. Athato bhaktim vyakhyasamaha. And are there any questions? Anybody have any questions? Very beautiful text. I have sent out the verses, the sections for discussion. I have received some of you have written to me what you choose. मार्गेण महिं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्ति भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. Okay, Hari Om everybody.